Good.
Awesome. And there he is. We got
There he is.
coming
Good
on.
morning. Good morning, all you beautiful people. Good to see ya. Man, we got a lot of folks on this morning. It's going to be a great, can you guys hear me? Wave at me if you can hear me. Okay, good. So good morning. I'm so excited to do the meeting today. There's so many good things happening. First of all, we have to congratulate Alicia. She's having a baby. Congratulations, Alicia Blackwood. She's having a little baby. I hear it's a baby boy, Alicia. Is that right?
Yes, we just found out it's a boy, which we have 4 girls between the 2 of us, so a boy is a pleasant surprise. It'll be nice to spice it up around here.
Will he be a cowboy? That's what I want to know.
Of course.
For those of you that don't know Alicia, she lives on a ranch. She's got a riding arena.
Cowboy boots. I already bought cowboy boots for him.
Exciting.
Yep. She's a big time cowgirl and loves the horses in the outdoors. So congratulations, you got your first cowboy. That's awesome, Alicia.
Thank you so much.
And if I look like a homeless person, I just got in a jog around my neighborhood, so I apologize. I'm like, I could take a quick shower and make it. The guy on the phone call did not make it. So yes, I look like I'm a homeless person. We'll all have to deal with it. Okay, so let's get started. So Alicia, since I got you here, talk to me a little bit about the world of loans. What new programs can the agents take advantage of? I hope you guys are all promoting the 100% no money down. People love that stuff. If they can, good jobs, decent credit, we get them into their first home. Everyone thinks they need $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. When they find out you don't need a dime, that is powerful. And so, Alicia, tell us what's going on in the world of lending, what's changed, how can we help the agents, where interest rates are? Take it away.
Absolutely. So we talked about last time USDA is an alternative for down payment assistance, mainly because if you're really trying to get the client the least possible payment and the biggest purchase price, USDA has the lowest rates and the lowest mortgage insurance. And there is no—
Hey, let me do a quick timeout. You guys, your mic, one of your mics on. If you could look at your cell phone and press the mute button, or your laptop and mute it. We're getting some feedback. It'll increase the quality of the call for everyone. Sorry to interrupt, but just please make sure your phones are muted. Go ahead, Alicia. Go ahead.
Oh, not a problem. And the rates are in the 2s on USDA, which is government financing, but with less than a point, we can get down to 2.625, which is crazy low, but the mortgage insurance is 1/3. Now, USDA is a semi-rural, it's for areas that are semi-rural. Around here specifically, Penryn, Loomis, Auburn, Colfax, Weimar, Galt, Wilton are areas that do qualify. So it is geographically restricted. It's a good alternative if you can drive the client a little bit out of the cities. The down payment assistance programs, I'm seeing rates more like 3.1 up to 3.6. So those rates are a lot higher and they have a restrictive debt to income ratio. But the best option for your clients is if you can help them scrounge together 3 measly percent of the price. As long as they're buying under 569 in Placer Sacramento area, 3% down gets you a rate at 2.8 with removable mortgage insurance. So in the long term for those clients, after just a 2-year period of time, as long as their home went up in value 20% to have 20% equity, they can remove, up to $300 off their payment on a $400,000 house. So that gives that client motivation to scrounge together that 3%, because those government loans have permanent mortgage insurance. So if they can get 3% together, they can drop $300 off their payment in as quickly as 2 years, but they do need the 20% equity. So I tell the client it takes 2 years to 4 years. But to give you an idea, rates did go up a little bit, but they're predicted to go back down in the next week. So I just keep prepping clients. They are in the 2s. You can get to 2.8 with under a point conventional, again, with as little as 3% down. FHA is same thing under a point's 2.75. VA is 2.625. So really low, really historically low. As far as new programs, people are using seconds as well now. more, so keep that in mind. So if a client wants to go up above 569, they can still do seconds up to 85% loan to value if they're trying to avoid any jumbo. And then that's basically it for rates. Did you guys, oh, I did want to say, when it comes to appraisals, we are seeing delays. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing that with your lenders. You've been feeling it. Bottom line, we get access to 6 different companies. Only one is worth anything as far as I'm concerned, but be prepared for that. I'm not telling my agents to do longer contingency periods because again, you gotta make the sexiest deal you can to get into contract, but just be prepared. You might be asked for a little bit more time. Anyone have any lending questions?
Yeah, I definitely want one or two of you to pop some questions. Maybe you're in a deal and the lender's not getting it done. Maybe a question about closing costs. You know, is this really right? They're charging $20,000 in closing costs, some crazy thing. So think of your question. Please have this very interactive team meeting. But I want to say this, if you're out there, you definitely got to be talking to the millennials. You do not need money to buy a house. You can get a fixed rate, and it's the no money down is not the danger. It's the adjustable rate that is the danger. If the market changes, you get caught there. And so when people find out I can get you a drop dead beautiful house with no money down, no closing costs, we get the seller to pay it. You just need a good job, decent job with decent credit. You're in. I don't want to know where USDA can be done or not done. There's certain areas you can do it. It's a rural program. I have areas that are multi-million-dollar areas, very desirable. They qualify for USDA. You can move in there with nothing down. Other areas you think you'd be able to do, you can't. Don't learn where it can be, because then if they say, well, I live in Penryn, like, oh, you can't do it there. Oh, okay, now I'm not going to give you my name and number. I was about to give you your name and number.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be the expert. Well, what's the minimum FICO credit? I'm telling you, you actually do not want to know details about the programs. You just got to know they exist. Oh my gosh, I have this great program. You could buy a house in, you name your desirable area for possibly no money down. You got to qualify for it.
My lowest 500 credit score, to be honest with you guys.
Mention that. Just my lender said she could go as low.
Credit score.
You want to get them with Alicia, and then she will massage their credit and flip them back to you. She can do it as low as 500. They're like, really? Yes. Let me connect you, and you could buy. Would you really like living in an apartment? Do you like really paying the sky high rent? Do you like having your kids' bicycles stolen? Do you like the school district you're in? I can move you to XYZ neighborhood, 0 down, 0 closing time payment. If we move you in and I close this October 10th, you don't make a payment till Christmas. If we close November 10th or 15th, you don't make a payment till 2021. Push, you know the rules. If it's around the 10th, 12th, 15th, the payment isn't the following month on the 1st. It's the following month after that on the 1st. Still on payment. I can hand you the keys November 10th or 15th, 12th, and you don't make a payment till 2021. You live there all the rest of November, all through the holidays when you normally would be paying rent, and you have a backyard for your kids to play that's safe. You're in the right school district. You don't need any money. You're a nurse, you're a fireman, you're a school teacher, you work for the state, you work for Caltrans, you've been working at the furniture company for 5 years now. You've got enough time on the job. I need a credit score to be 500 or more. Let me get you with Alicia. I know hundreds of lenders. She's the best lender I know. You know how there's just people who do things and there's people do things that are mind-blowing? I'm telling you, I can help you. And then shut up, they go, yeah, I'd like to meet her. Good. I'm going to call her right now. Don't do this stupid moronic thing. Here's her number, call her. They're not going to call. You give them your card. We'll take your card. We'll call you. You'll never hear from them again. They're not going to call. So what you do is, when I've been in so many open houses with people, hey, do you mind? I'm going to call you. I just want to make a short 1-minute introduction. You can say hi. Oh, baby. Because when they say, here, call, so-and-so, call Scott, call Phil, call Jamie, call Karen, and they'll list your home. And they go, okay, I'll call them. And they don't call. And then they list with someone else. You say, let me put you on the phone right now with Phil, with Scott, with Karen, with Tom. And then we make that connection and go, just real quick, and go, hey, why don't we book a time this weekend or next week? I can come by and see your house. Okay, and then the ball's rolling. You get them on the phone with Alicia. She is a 1/10 of 1%er in the lending world. She knows what to do. Don't ever give out phone numbers. Don't ever do that. You say, okay, let me add Alicia to the call right now, and you better prep her. Hey, I'm going to add so-and-so to the call. They want to get a loan for $400,000, $800,000. They're shopping at 600. If I add them to the call, will you drop what you're doing and accept my call? Yes, I will. Oh, I can't right now. I can't in 30 minutes. So postpone the call for 30. Be smart. Your lender is boom, boom, boom. It's the heartbeat of your real estate transaction. And you know what I'm talking about if you've ever been stuck with your client's lender. You always fight for your lender. And hopefully it's Alicia, if not, whoever it is. But you let them know, I've already got a lender taken care of. Okay, and you go with them, and then all of a sudden they can't get it done. And then the earnest money is at risk, and there's so much stress, and you're not sleeping. That's your fault. It's not your client's fault because you weren't smart. Smart is doing this. I had too much coffee this morning. I'm a little edgy. So here's the deal. Smart is this. You say, look, I know you got your lender, but here's the deal. If you'll talk to Alicia and then mention it to your lender, you're going to find your interest rate you think is so awesome at 2.2 is going to drop magically to 1.9 because they're afraid they're going to lose the loan to Alicia. So even talking to Alicia, it's going to drop your rate probably 0.2%, maybe 3. And you think, well, that's nothing. What's 0.3%? Oh, over the next 30 years, that's about $50,000. But hey, if $50,000 isn't important to you, don't worry about it. And they're like, oh my gosh. And by the way, did they tell you what your closing costs are, this lender you love? No, they didn't even mention it. Okay, I'm just going to be straight up. That's a major red flag. Yeah, you got an interest rate of 2.2, and yeah, that's a great interest rate. I'll be honest with you, but your closing costs could be 20,000 when they were supposed to be 7. They could be, when they should have been 8, they're 14. I don't know. When you see $6,000 laying on the sidewalks, you go, I don't even going to spend the time to pick it up. I go, I'm telling you, if you talk to Alicia, your closing costs will drop by thousands. Your interest rate will drop. Just talking to her, and I don't want to make my loan officer feel awkward. Fine, pay an extra $50,000 and pay thousands extra in closing costs. That is silly. You have every right to get, when you build a deck, you get 3 general contractor bids. You got to paint your house, get some bids from various painters, and it's just a normal thing to do. So lose this. I don't want to, you have every right to talk to. I fight for my lenders. And then when I get them on the phone, we get the deal. I don't want to be stuck with their lender. They may be good. They may be horrible. How many of you, and if you haven't had this happen, it will. It just means you're new. All the veterans out there, when you get a deal and it's about to close and it's, say, $700,000 and you're about to get an $18,000 commission check and you kind of need it, and all of a sudden the loan starts getting weird and you need more time, I need an explanation on this, and you were late on your student loan and we didn't know that the divorce paper didn't say that, and all of a sudden the loan just explodes and the deal goes south and you don't get paid a dime. The seller wants to sue you, sell your brokerage, sue your client. The listing agent's mad. They want to bring. I mean, it's just so bad, and it's totally, completely your fault. It's not even the buyer's lender's fault. It's your fault because. But now it's not. I'm coaching you. My pain. I'm coaching you out of my pain. My pain, your gain. And you've got to fight for your lender, whether it's Alicia or whoever it is you believe in. Well, I don't know if I believe in my lender. Then go to Alicia. Find someone you believe in and fight for them, because your deal will go smooth. Does this mean Alicia's God? Does this mean she's perfect and never makes a mistake? No. Do I want grace when I make a mistake? Yes. Give Alicia grace. Quit being a butthead, I mean, cut her some slack. Okay. So I want people I make mistakes all the time. I'll do my best to make it right for sure, as quickly as I can, and own it. She will too. Sometimes it's really not her fault. The client tells her this is a certain way. They get the divorce docs. It's not what they said. Yes, they're still liable for the house. They thought the divorce gave it to my spouse. Yeah, but you're still on the loan. Yeah, you gave away all the equity, but you're on the loan. And well, what about, so sometimes it's really not her fault, or the lawyer, the employer comes back and won't verify X. They verify X because the truth is it was X. Your client said this. It is not Alicia's fault. So just take a breath, and maybe your lender's not Alicia, but work with them. But if you don't have a lender that you're excited about, you don't have the right lender. Find a lender. If your lender cannot close a deal in 12 to 14 days with good credit, a good job, and they've got pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, tax returns, that's just, you could send that stuff to somebody this morning. And you think, well, it's my lender's job to get that from my client. No, it is not. It is your job to help your lender get that from your client. How my client's doing? I was checking how they doing. No, they're not giving me the divorce paperwork. They're not giving me the bankruptcy attorney's number. They're not. And I'm in there. I call them up and I am on them like white on rice. I'm like, listen to me. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. That $10,000 deposit, you're going to lose it. It's going to be your fault. I'm going to give you a deadline of today by 5 or tonight by 7 to get this in. You're like, yeah, it's a pain. No, I'm telling you, it's going to put you in the worst position with the seller. You could lose this house. Oh, I didn't know that. Of course they did. And the truth is, you're the professional. It's your fault to communicate to them to this. So do not take this. This is all my lender's responsibility. We're in this together. You have the relationship with the client. You gave them to the lender, but stay in there. Make sure they get the docs because you want your deal to be smooth. And if your lender, again, can't close a deal in 12 to 14 days with a good job, good credit, not self-employed mess, but good job, good credit, you have the wrong lender. Lenders need to go. And so I like them. Good. You do your 30-day close. I'll do it in 12, and I'm going to get chosen over you. All things being equal, they're going to go with my 12. I'll let them stay 2 months rent-free, and I'm going to get paid $20,000, and you're going to get paid, boop, nothing. So be aggressive. Be smart. Sorry, I stole your little thing. Whose turn? Who wants to comment on something I just said or ask Alicia a question? Somebody ask a question. This is not where everyone's quiet. Ask a question to Alicia or about loans or something. Go ahead.
Crickets.
Hey, Alicia, I want to know, why are some loans closing later at the end right now? Lenders are saying, oh, COVID stuff. What's going on with that? What?
I don't think it has anything to do with COVID. I think it has everything to do with being understaffed. Understaffed 100%. So we were just talking about it with corporate today because they sent an email out that said, expect things to be delayed. And my response was, empower your processors. Give the processors the ability to sign off conditions. So banks are going to start to transform and change and morph to be able to keep up with this, because I know that most companies that are 24 hours are seeing 3 and 4 days sometimes. Right? So what's happening is a lot of banks are empowering themselves by hiring internal underwriters or empowering their processors to sign off conditions. Because there's only certain conditions a DE underwriter actually has to touch. There's plenty of minor conditions that can be signed off by a processor, a seasoned, educated processor that knows how to read that the declaration page is correct, something simple like that, reading prelims, stuff like that. So suggestions that they're working on internally, and all mortgage companies are trying to improve right now and cut back touches on the files, because it's the only way you can expedite is less people. So one of the remedies, and it's 100% just not being able to keep up with rates in the 2s, as you can imagine. So some companies have chosen to extend their refis to 15 to 25 days so that their purchases can remain 2 days in underwriting. So it's just going to be a bank choice. You are going to see that the standard banks like Wells Fargo's, they're going to take a lot longer, but it is going to be per branch if they can have their own set of underwriters, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it will be case by case, unfortunately. The biggest thing is make sure that you push for everything to go in as quick as possible. Ride your client, ride your lender, because if it gets stuck in processing, as an example, and nobody asked the client for something 5 days ago, me and Melissa just went through this on a file, and I had to frickin' do the processor's job yesterday, or it wasn't going to happen today. Thank God they're like signing right now. But if I, as the loan officer, didn't step in and do the processor's job because her load was too high, it wouldn't happen. So just make sure whoever you're dealing with will do whatever it takes. That's the bottom line, you know, because we do have authority to drive people crazy, and that's kind of my thing. Poor Melissa see me in action, and I'm like terrorizing the universe. 25 emails later, I'm like, hi, I know you hate me, but guess what? You're signing. So the title company might hate me, but my borrower's signing, you know. So so basically, that's what I suggest, is just make sure who you're working with is tenacious and not a pushover, because pushovers are going to the back of the line. I hate to say it.
I love it. Anybody else jump in? Any other questions? Great question, great answer.
We have a question just about multifamily properties and like what are there property purchase limits for owner occupied multifamily properties and income limits, and how's the rent counted for that? Just a lot of questions.
Yes, if you wanted me to actually send you a matrix on multi-unit, I can, because it is available, both conventional FHA, you can do multi-unit, and they require, most of the time, 2 or more units is at least 25% down. If you don't have a history of ever claiming rental income in the past, there is layered guidelines on that. If you already have a history, you can take over leases that are already in place. Because a lot of times if you buy a 3-unit and you have 2 units that are already rented and you're going to occupy one as an example, because a lot of people do it owner occupied for less down, then you can take over leases that are already in place as long as there's a history. But we do have metrics I think would be really helpful for you if you're looking for your investors, that I could just send you, and it's like a chart, because then you can kind of just see across, oh, okay, 4 units this much down, 2 units this much down. So let me put a note down. What was your email?
I think I can text you.
Or message me on Facebook or whatever. I know we're Facebook friends. Yeah, and
if you
I'll
could
get
send that, that'd be awesome. For owner occupied ones, yeah, because they're, that changes things, right? If it's owner occupied.
Yes, it absolutely does. So yeah, shoot me a message on Facebook or whatever, and I'll send it over. It's a phenomenal time to buy multi-units, guys. And especially, I've brought it up to a lot of my clients, hey, you want to help your kid out? Go buy them a duplex. Let that second unit pay the payment for them, right? They can buy a 2-unit with 3.5% down on FHA, which is unheard of, but it's a phenomenal time to buy rentals and duplexes or plus. But on a duplex, you can do the 3.5% down. So that's a little secret.
All right,
Awesome.
great
Thank
questions,
you.
guys. We're gonna move on. This is rock solid stuff. I love it. Hey, we have Scott on, Scott Robinson from Fairfield, Vacaville area. He's a legendary superstar. Scott, good to see you here this morning. How are you? Oh, you got to unmute. I told everyone to mute. Yeah, lower right-hand corner. Hit that button there. Let's see. It's still muted. Scott. There you go. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going?
Awesome. So give us an update. What's happening in the Fairfield, Vacaville market? I want to hear. Are you guys
definitely,
on fire like Sacramento?
Yeah, definitely. Probably like everybody else, I experience the buyers you're having to go 20 to 50 grand over asking to get the deals. But I got one in escrow here. We're probably about 2 weeks out, a nice one. But yeah, I had to really fight to get it accepted, So the fires had a big impact on us, because what people are doing is they're losing their home and then buying something real quick to live, because they're going to be out of home for a year back here in the rural part of Vacaville. So that's definitely affecting us, I think.
Very cool.
Otherwise,
So
all good.
Vacaville.
I got 3 in escrow right now, and that feels good to me.
Heck yeah.
One closing today, as a matter of fact.
I didn't mean very good. I didn't mean very good about the fires. I meant very good that you're doing good and the market's good. The fires are definitely interesting. Oh my gosh, we got Aaliyah here. Hey, Aaliyah, I see you from Oakland, California. Brand new real estate agent. Go ahead and unmute your mic, Aaliyah. Say hi to everyone and tell us what you're noticing in Oakland. Is inventory tight? Is it an aggressive multiple offer situation in Oakland? I personally heard the Bay Area's kind of slowed down again a little bit, not as crazy as it was. There's a definite cooling off on it. That's what I've heard, but what's it like right now? What have you noticed?
Right now, the market's still super competitive with buyers. It's low inventory. Homes are going for 100,000 over asking.
Okay,
no
so I have the wrong
contingencies.
intel. I have the wrong intel. It's crazy. And that's your daughter there, right? Who is that? What's her name?
Ariella. Say hi,
Hey,
Ariella.
Ariella, you're so cute. All right, I love that. Well, that's a good update. I've been heard from some agents in the Bay Area. They're like, how do I get price reductions? My clients are frustrated because they're hearing about what she said. I think they're pricing so high, then they're not getting 100,000 over, even in what they're asking. So even an overpriced home in a hot market like that will struggle. So very cool. Thank you for the update, Aaliyah. That is awesome. Okay, we're gonna go to Heather, Chicago Title. She's our title rep from Chicago Title. She's a superstar extraordinaire. So
Hi,
Heather,
guys.
hey. So tell us, everyone wave at Heather so she can at least know you're there watching her. Thank you. This is a very active team meeting. So Heather, what's happening in the world of escrow and title? Anything new with fraud? Anything new with, are you guys busier than ever? Or is it slowing down? What are you noticing? She's in the Sacramento area. Let us have it.
We are busier than ever. Things are going into contract crazy fast. And on Monday, we just went live with our mobile earnest money deposit. So now with COVID, you know, we want to social distance, keep you and your clients safe. So your clients, your buyers, if the contract's with Chicago, can take a picture of the EMD and it's uploaded, so your clients don't have to come in, doesn't matter, you know, location, anything like that. It's incredible. So that is up and running. That went live on Monday and it's working like a charm. So if you have a buyer with Chicago, just make sure you provide your escrow officer, your buyer's full name, email, cell phone number, because it's the dual authentication, you know, process. So we will need their cell number. And their email address. So it's awesome.
Well, I'm sure Christine and any other escrow officer for Chicago Title is going to just ask for that. We don't really have to do it, right?
Yeah, well, they'll ask for it, but we have had some pushbacks from some agents, not you guys, not wanting to give that information out because they feel that they want to be the person in charge. They don't really want us going to the client. That's not
I got this.
Not
The
you
last
guys.
thing you want to do is be in charge of 10, 20, 30, $50,000 of earnest money. Duh.
Exactly.
You know, but so if you're out there and you're a control freak, stop it. Cut that stuff
Stop being
out.
a control freak. Stay
Let
in your
go.
lane.
Yeah. Oh, I got this, Mr. or Mrs. I got this. Oh, that is so funny. So the market's on fire. You're doing good. Awesome.
Everyone's doing great. And to piggyback off what Alicia said, you know, turnaround times are a bit longer because this volume is crazy. No one expected this. So we have escrow officers pulling 12, 13, 14-hour days. So just kind of give everyone some grace in this industry right now until it settles down. But we are grateful for the business.
Love it. Love it. Okay, I'm going to switch to Barry Mathis. He is our investor genius, commercial real estate, investment real estate, multifamily. Prices are sky high. Even first-time home buyers can be spooked. Maybe I should wait. So Barry, before you take a crack at the investment thing, I just want to talk to us. How do you keep someone like that calm and sell with integrity? I say this, yeah, if you're going to sell in 2 or 3 years, you might want to wait. But if you're going to sell and if you plan on keep the home for at least 10 years, you're going to be fine. It may correct a little bit over the next 2, 3, 4 years, and then just take off again and go on a run. Keep in mind, you're getting interest rates in the 2s, which is insane. And if it drops back down in the 1s, I mean, and especially now, if you hold it for 30 years, it does not matter what happens over the next 5 to 10 years. 30 years from now, you'll own it. It could get cut in half. It doesn't matter. And you're getting practically free money. So yes, you go buy a house right now, get it done. You're going to own it in 30 years regardless. The interest rate is too good. You can write off all the stuff. So Barry, what are you telling commercial people at multifamily? Is the market dead for investment or flips still happening? I see you actively posting stuff on Facebook. Give us an update.
So definitely understanding what type of investor you have is really important. And, you know, the fix and flip versus the buy and hold. To your point that you just talked about, Keeping Current Matters just had a chart that went out that talked about how new inventory is rising. There's a lot of homes coming back on the market. However, the overall inventory is actually declining. And so when you compare those two together, what it's basically saying is what we're all seeing is we're not bringing enough homes to market to satisfy the demand. And so that's on the residential side. On the investment side, absolutely, cash flow is king. Right now, everyone out there in this low interest rate environment, the flip side of that is people who want to invest aren't getting much of a return on their money. So if you've got the Fed's guaranteed rate being down in the 1% range, then you really need to find an alternative source to bring in funds. And that buy and hold real estate as a rental income coming in is going to push those returns up. And that really makes a big difference for people. That's what they're looking for on the buy and hold side. On the fix and flip side right now, we're absolutely seeing properties that are ugly being bought, putting money into them, and converting it out and making a profit. I've got 2 deals going right now where my clients found the properties on the MLS. We bought the properties, and they're all making a profit as they turn them back out. And so the properties are there. You just have to look for them. Of course, it would be great to develop off-market opportunities. And I know Cindy Silva has some clients that are looking right now that are good cash buyers. I've got clients that are standing by with cash that will buy anything that presents a good opportunity. So if you have somebody out there with a property that they don't want to sink money into fixing it up, we'll come along and make that happen for them. So reach out to me for sure.
Awesome. And right now I have a concierge service that will lend you up to $250,000 to do your flip. 50 grand all day long, 80, 100 grand. If you got the listing, we got the money. And they pay nothing for the money. They do have to use the vetted contractors. And if they don't like the contractors, then they don't do the flip. But the prices are fair. They're solid. If you got someone who's a penny pitcher, they probably won't like it. The prices are not high. They're not low. They're fair, middle of the road. But they'll give them 50, 80,000. We'll re-roof the house. We'll re-landscape the yard. We'll remodel kitchens and bathrooms. We'll gut the thing and rebuild it from the top up. We go up to $500,000 cash. You don't put it up. I don't put it up. And then the seller, they have a year to pay it back. They just have to do all the things, get their home on the market and close it. And they have to do all that. They have a year. I almost wish it was less. It was like, 6 months. So, but the point is, a year later, they will owe 100,000 or 50,000, or, usually your people don't need more than 30, 40, $50,000. And so it's motivation that kind of burns the boats in the harbor. They don't have the money and they had to borrow it. They really do have to sell. So it's brilliant. Plus the company will not just lend the money. If they're going to flip a home that's really valued at 5, but the seller wants to come out at 6, they won't do it, because they know the house isn't going to sell. So they'll actually help you get a lower price. They go, we've done all our homework, and after it's flipped, this home is going to go with homes just like it. It's going to go for 5. And so it'll actually help you get a lower price if you're not good at duking it out. They won't give you crazy prices. Does that make sense to everyone? So we'll post the name and number of that person in the Brent Gove team page. And get you that information. It's a company out of Southern California. My Newport Beach group uses them. In fact, Mark Witt's on the line right now. Mark, can you unlock your mic? Mark Witt from Incline Village, Lake Tahoe, and from Newport Beach. I think he's on the phone. He may not even be listening to me. That's right now. Mark, wave at me if you're listening to me. Oh, that's so funny. He's on the phone. He's checked out. All right, we'll get Mark another time. Muted the thing. That's funny. But it's their guy in Southern California right now. They're doing a home in Newport Beach for $5.5 million. And yes, they do $500,000 renovations to those properties. And I think that particular seller did borrow $500,000. They didn't borrow it because they used the vendors, and then the vendors charge fair pricing. And then the guy even doing $500,000 worth of vendor work, he usually makes anywhere from 8 to 12%. So 12% on 100 is 12 grand, 12% so he'll probably make maybe 8% on 500. He'll make probably $40,000 is how he makes his money. He gets paid by the contractors, the seller. It's all done. It's really cool. He's done it thousands of times. He's got deep pockets. And I actually have him with Jason Guessing, David Kennord, Glenn Sanford, Jeff Whiteside, and they're looking at becoming the concierge for all of EXP nationwide. And then not just our team of agents, but every agent at EXP can have this as an EXP concierge. It's a great recruiting tool. Hey, come to EXP. If your seller needs 50 grand, I've turned down listings because they needed 100 grand. And the seller's asking me for it. I don't want to give him 100 grand. I don't know if he's going to be a knucklehead, not lower the price. This guy will do it. And that's his business. And I don't know, pretty cool. Beats turning down the listing. And so who thinks that's cool? Undo your mic. Who wants to ask me a question about that? And you can ask a question, or anybody have a comment on that program or question? Okay. So we will get that posted.
great.
What?
I
Yes.
think it sounds great. I can't wait to get more information.
Yes. So I wish Mark Witt was not on that call. Mark, you there? I was talking to you and you were on the phone. We were all watching you. It was so funny. You turned down the mic.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I just got a notification that one of my leads had been looking at properties over and over and over again. So let me know. And I called him, and then he sent me a text saying, "Let's connect today." So sorry about that.
It's all right. It was funny. We were all watching you. I don't think he could hear us. So I was telling him about the concierge service that Barbara's using on her $5.5 million listing in Newport Beach, and how they've done that thousands of times, how we're connecting them to EXP to try to get it to be a new, just one more benefit of being with EXP, that we have, as much money pretty much as you need to flip the property. Obviously they're not going to give you $300,000 for a $400,000 property, right? It's all commiserate. It's all, but I told everyone you're from Incline Village and Newport Beach. You work both markets. Do you have any comments on that program? I know you're kind of learning about it with me through Barbara. Barbara's like 35 years in the industry, Newport Beach, sells off the island off Newport Beach that John Wayne lived on, sold probably every home there over the past 35 years. Any comments on that program, Mark?
I'm learning about it almost in real time as you are, but we're really excited about it because, again, it doesn't come out of your pocket, doesn't come out of their pocket up front. So the barriers to entry, and it's basically a frictionless experience. So it's definitely a recruiting tool, and something I lost a recruit to Compass when they said, "Do you have a concierge program?" I said, "No." That was a while back, and so. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, Compass had a concierge program where they would give the seller $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 to put on a roof, to paint, new flooring, all that. We have never had that. We're so kicking butt without it, but occasionally we lose them. So if we bring this in, it's just one more reason to come to EXP. Thank you, Mark. Any comments on today's meeting or any ahas you want to share with the group as a bright, up-and-coming superstar in real estate?
Oh, thanks, Brent. I came a little bit late, but your comments about the lending side, for you guys don't know me, but I used to own a wholesale bank, and literally right now I have the exact scenario that you were speaking to. I have a customer that bailed on my lender midway, and I was upset, and I said, "Look, I'm here to advise you, but this loan officer that's doing this, if he doesn't perform, he did you an injustice." And we are at closing, and guess what? He did not perform. And there's a difference between a broker and a banker. Like you, Brent, I fight for my lender. I don't want to deal with any other lender. And this was a broker-only situation. He doesn't have the control over the file because he's dealing with a bank that's not his. And he won't call me back. And, I really wanted to call him to say, "Look, you put your commission above my client's needs and your clients, and you ripped this deal promising the world and my client went out of my lender for about $1,000. It was nothing." And, and my guy today is going, like last night, he's eating a little crow because, I told him not to do it. He tried to save a little money. We're going to get it through. It's going to work out.
But it creates a lot of stress for the buyer.
He's stressed out. I told him, "I know this. I've been on both sides. I will problem solve and get this through. But next time, don't cut corners. This is a professional I gave you that's one of the best in the United States at what he does, and he would have been done by now."
Yeah. Well, it's like this. I could go to H&R Block 2 and do my taxes for $150. I pay $3,700 to get my taxes done by a guy who's awesome. I pay, I don't know how many, but it's like 20 times the price, because he's great. And my lender may not be the cheapest guy, but sometimes the reason they compete is they're not any good, and they lower their fees and rates sometimes because they're not any good. Now, in Alicia's case, she has great low rates and fees, and she's phenomenal. So, but yeah, you got to talk about. By the way, if this deal had not closed, what's your commission on the deal? On this particular, what do you get earn?
A very small one for Orange County. It's about $13,000.
Okay, so but if this guy would have choked, you'd have lost $13,000.
$13,000.
Yep. Now in real estate, there's pain. You just went through a painful situation without going into the details. It just sucks. I shouldn't even do this to you, but how much did you lose? What was the commission you lost on that thing?
I can go in a little detail if you want.
If there's something we can learn from it, not just the pain.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Is there a moral to the story that you can do quickly?
I lost $150,000. Literally, someone went into my pocket and grabbed literally $150,000 out of my pocket. It was a 1031 exchange. They had to put that money into, it's going to be $6 million. A Syrian First American Title misinformed the listing agent that wanted to confirm the 1031, blew that deal, which triggered a second deal. Lastly, I made a rookie mistake and didn't get a buyer broker agreement signed. I didn't even really know to do that, to be honest. And don't ever be in my shoes. I had my Zoom with my team. I literally cried, like legitimately shed a tear with my team because it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's $150,000, 1031 exchange. They have to buy property. They were working with me. Everything was fine. Just wonky stuff happened behind the scenes. A business partner that bowed out before came back in and they used another broker.
But the reason they came back in is you were working with First American and their 1031 exchange person or whoever gave bad advice did something wrong and it caused the deal to go sideways, right?
Don't trust the offer we put in. He just called First American Title with our permission to confirm that the 1031 was going to close in a week and a half. He got a junior agent that gave him old bad information, said, oh no, this is at least months out, perhaps more than 2. And literally that deal alone was $25,000 done. And I had a $2 million that I was writing. She said, let's hold on that one. And I was going to write another $2 million. And I lost them all.
And all because of something that you allowed them to go direct. So be involved with your 1031s. Be on the call, be on the Zoom. Make sure you're getting the right information. Something sounds wrong, call Heather. If something's wrong, call Christine Adams. We use Chicago Title. I really don't necessarily have a problem with First American. And guess what? It could happen to Chicago Title too. I've made mistakes. They make mistakes, but you got to be on it. You got to be on it. And so Heather, you want to chime in on that? Is she still here? Is Heather here?
Yes. Yeah. So with what he said, we've done 2 1031 exchanges class this week. You have to let us know right from the get, because like he said, you have 45 days to get in contract with your exchange property, and things move fast. And especially now with inventory so low, I mean, we really have to get a move on things. But so our parent company, we own, or part of IPX Exchange, which is a 1031 exchange company. So we're all in the loop from the beginning, but we got to all be on the same page because you don't have extensions and things like that. So yeah, just communicate.
I love it. I love it. So Mark, thank you.
I have a question, Brent, for you about this. This is Krista.
Hey.
Hi. Can you talk to us a little bit about Mark's comment about, he said he should have had a buyer broker agreement. What's your philosophy on that? What should we be doing?
So if you lose clients all the time, then you should be using buyer broker. If you're doing a large deal, like Mark had a $6 million deal, if he'd just slid in the 1-page buyer broker, you could even do it for the particular deal. Hey, I'm your agent. If you're going to buy these properties, I'm your agent. That's what it says. I'm committing to you. You're committing to me. Or you could do, for the next 6 months, 9 months, a year. I'm your agent. I'm investing time. I'm going to do this to simply kind of formalize our relationship. If he had slid it in and put it in the DocuSign batch, they would have signed that. His client would have not have pivoted to her old partner. What happened was, because First American's junior person gave wrong information, his client got upset and kind of blamed it on Mark because he's the one who recommended First American. We recommend Alicia. Alicia makes a mistake. It does come back on us. We recommend Christine Adams with Chicago Title and Heather. They make it, and it happens. They're going to. And I'm just forgiving. Now, if it was just constant, I'd be down the road and find somebody else. I've had 2 title companies in my life, Alliance Title, until that escrow officer just made too many mistakes. And I switched to Christine probably 15 years ago. And she was a First American branch manager. Then she switched to Chicago. I followed her. I've been with her ever since. So back to your question, Krista. If you're losing clients constantly, slide in the buyer broker with the purchase agreement and have them sign it when they write the offer. They'll sign anything. They're so excited. They want the project. Let's go. They will sign it. That's what Mark's talking about. I've never used one. I don't lose clients, but then again, I've never done $6 million deals. The biggest deal I've ever done, I think, was maybe 1.7 million. I'm the king of selling homes for 400,000 and 500,000. That's really what I've always done. I like to be turnout. I like to sell not 10 $5 million homes, but for whatever it is in me, I want to sell $500,000 homes. I like selling lots of homes. So it depends upon your business. Did I answer the question, Chris? I don't know if I tripped over myself or not.
That was great. Yes, thank you.
All right, awesome.
I have a tip on that, if you want. So
yeah,
right now, with having to sign PEDs for everything, it's kind of easy to slip it in there too. And I just let them know, like, hey, this gives me permission to be able to show properties for you, to be searching out properties that are off market because I'm working for you. I have no problem doing it. I don't do it too often, except for I recently had this agent go very passive aggressive and send me an email just saying, hey, you're talking to my client that I've been working with since this time. I'd appreciate if you'd respect it, blah, blah, blah. And, well, as most of you know, I'm a little bit competitive, and I was like, oh, game on. And then he was even like, oh, good luck with your listings, and started listing off the addresses of all my active listings. And I was like, okay, that's kind of creepy. He didn't call me, nothing, just this random email. He didn't have a buyer broker. So I've already bonded with the client. The client calls me all the time, and I just let them know, like, hey, you got to be committed if I'm going to work with you. So I do have a buyer broker with them right now, but that was more so because I just wanted to kind of drill it into the guy that he doesn't own someone unless it's on there. I just didn't like his email, but I don't always use them.
Did you send him a copy of your buyer broker?
Oh, not yet. The client isn't even talking to him. I didn't even respond. You'd be proud of me, Brent. I did not respond. I did not say anything. I just went,
right.
Game on.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, game on. Take the high road. Love people. Hey, I'm sorry you feel that way. I didn't know you exist. They're just excited to look at properties with me. And, as you know, it's like a listing. They get to pick their company. So if you've got this home, they're not going on the market for half a year. And you're like, well, I'll do the listing contract in January or February when they get closer. All of a sudden, someone calls you and say, hey, those are my clients. I'm going to list their home back off. I don't know about you, but I would run over there and get a listing contract signed now. And of course, you all know the story. Well, half of you do. We have a lot of guests on today. Jennifer had lost listing after listing after listing because she was leaving. We love you. We're going to list with you. We just need 3 months to get the home ready, 6 months to get the home ready. We'll be ready 9 months. And then 3, 6, 9 months later, she came back. They'd list with Coldwell, Remax, Keller. I go, oh my gosh, you're leaving without a signed listing contract. So I taught her how to get a signed listing contract on the spot, saying, hey, let's list it now. I know we think the home's worth 800. Let's list it for 9. And what I'm going to do is if I get a desperate buyer out of town from San Francisco, San Jose, where they think 900,000 is a condo, and this is 5 acres, 3,500 square feet with a pool and a barn, I go, I might just get you 900,000. So I'm going to keep it a pocket listing, but it makes it safe for me to bring 1 or 2 people here over the next 6 months while you're getting it ready. The price is not negotiable. It will be 900,000. And then I'm going to get you a rent back for a year or 6 months, and then you don't have to do any of these repairs. You're going to get $100,000 more than you want with no repairs. I need you to sign the listing agreement now that makes it safe for me to bring my clients. And again, I'm managing expectation. I might show it once or twice, but occasionally you get someone desperate from the Bay Area who's in a 1031 exchange. And as Heather just said, you have 45 days to identify a property, and they go, you know what? I'm taking that place. I know 900 is high, but it's like when we go to Idaho or Utah and you see 10 acres on a river with a 2,800 square foot single story home that's brand new for $280,000, we're like, ah! We're like I'll pay it. I'll pay 3. Now people who are from Boise or from Idaho are like, who in the world would pay $280 for that 10 acre place? That home's not worth a penny more than $250. We would. And I tell this to my clients, that buyer is from San Francisco and San Jose. They think you're 900. They think you're giving it away. Now, we're seeing it's going for 8. You could tell this is what's going, but occasionally you get somebody says, I don't care. I want what I want. I'll pay 9. And if I got you 9 and you don't have to do these repairs, you get to save for 6 months or a year, and you pay them what you pay the bank, would you take that deal? They go, yes. I go, good. Take 1 minute, sign my listing agreement. I taught Jennifer to do that. Jennifer, how many homes have you listed since then? Real quick, just ballpark, because we gotta end.
Well,
this.
I went back right after learning that lesson, and then by the way, I know what year it was. 2017. I had a listing agreement with me. I didn't pull it out. Since then, I do more listings than buyers. This year, especially, I barely have any buyers. It's all listings. I have a few buyers, but
how many listings do you think you've done with that technique since you learned that? Not to walk away empty-handed where someone else did these.
Probably 20 to 30. I do it with all my listings now, 20 to 30. But I went back and got 5 just in 1 month because I went back to everyone. But wait, I have to tell you just real quick. I'll make it quick. Best ending ever to that story. Those exact same clients, because of course I know who they are. You're gonna love this, Brent. Fast forward 3 years, because they didn't end up selling their house because the agent, of course, got the listing by saying it was worth too much. Fast forward, we just closed last week on that exact house for $30,000 over. We listed, no appraisal contingency, 3-week close, 2-month free rent back, and they are like, they love me. They're
right.
Brag to their family, brag to everybody. They were actually in my home on Saturday. Yep. Their boys, they become like family, and they love me. Love me.
One important point I forgot to mention, I tell them at the end when they sign. Now, of course, it's 6 months when your home's remodeled. We're going to list it at 8, but I'm listing it at 9 now, and it's non-negotiable, and it's as is. No repairs will be made. And don't you love it? And I go, now, if I don't get that, again, I'm going to show up maybe once or twice to a desperate Bay Area buyer who will probably pay cash and let you stay. You don't have to move out. Well, we're not ready to stay 6 months a year. They're in a 1031. They just got to dump their money somewhere. But when you do come on, let's be clear right now. We're going to do it at 8. We're not coming on at 9. Now, when we look at the market, if the market's gone up to 850, we'll come on at 850. But right now, I'm listing at 9. It's a non-negotiable price as is. Would you love that? Heck yeah, we'd love that. You will get listing after listing after listing, and no one can come behind you and buy that listing. It works like magic. Jennifer's done it. I learned that from Tom Daves. I was leaving, and a coach I hired, I paid him $12,000 to learn that trick. I actually learned it from the coach I hired. What I learned from Tom Daves, and what Clove was this, is if they just won't sign, I go, look, I'm going to write in here that you could cancel this listing at any time for any reason with 24 hours written notice. She just, here's my business card, send me an email, we're done. Nobody does that. Jennifer Sandville, she'll sign you to a 6-month contract. If you don't like her, you're stuck.
I do 1 year now.
I would not compete against her that way. I might compete against a couple of Baker remakes, but I know you're talking to, some Kevin McDonald from Prado Real Estate. He's a real popular real estate where we're from. And I go, here's the deal. You're going to sign with Kevin. It's a 6-month agreement. If for some reason you don't like the way he's doing for you, it's an irrevocable listing agreement. I use the legal word, irrevocable. You're trapped. Do you want to be trapped? No. I go, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put in there, you can cancel for any time for any reason with 24-hour written notice. Just send me an email. Here's my business card. I'm going to write it right here in the contract. So, because I know you want to pray about it, I know you want to think about it. So let's say you sign it and tomorrow you wake up, you prayed about it, you don't want to list with me, send me an email. Here it is in writing. They sign the listing agreement almost every single time. I go, you got nothing to lose. And here's what's better about this. Let's say a month after we're on the market, you think I'm not doing the job, send an email, you're done. You could go list with Kevin Prado. So with me, I will let you hold my feet to the fire. You know why I will do this? Nobody will do this. And some of you right now going, I would never do that. I work so hard. I spend money, blah, 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 blah. I go, because I have the courage and the guts to know that I'm going to under promise, over deliver. You're going to love working with me. I'm that confident. And I'm the agent who's going to let you hold my feet to the fire. Give me a shot. I want this listing so bad I can taste it. Nobody will work harder for you. God, you're kind of crazy. Yep. Welcome to a high level of selling. You better convince them because they're like, yeah, he was okay. She was okay. My wife and I just interviewed 3 lawyers for forming a new corporation. And first lawyer was okay. Second lawyer was okay. Third lawyer was he just was spot on, amazing, and he wanted it. And we hired him on the spot. You guys, welcome to sales. And sales is the highest paid profession in the world. I'm so proud of all of you for being here. And so I love this. And so I just want to say this. The whole time we've been on this call, I've been scanning this call, and Jerry Swanson from Chimney, I'm going to have you on next. We're going to wrap with you a little commercial for what you do. You're going to have a 1 to 2 minute commercial because I love this guy. He's a good dude. I forgot I was going to go to you next, but Missy Taylor and Joanna and Katie and Melissa and I'm just watching you guys. Cindy, Ali already mentioned you, but is it Fausto or Fusto? I'm sorry, man. I got to get your name right. I see you there, brother. I've been watching you, Cindy and Manu. Manu made so much money. She has a helicopter she's showing behind her. I was watching your helicopter, Manu, with her rev share. Good job. No, I'm kidding. It's just a backdrop. There's Manu's helicopter. I love it. She's doing good. Is that you guys doing a helicopter? I get it. A family vacation.
Yeah, that was in Maui.
Oh yeah, I was in Maui. Oh yeah. All right. And so, but Krista, I saw you on there. Jesse, Rob. I mean, just Dan and C and Megan and Tomas and Armando. Man, there's a lot of people on. Valerie, Lynn, Cassandra. I could go on. There's so many people here. So, and Galaxy A21. You need to put your name there. Who knows who that is? It's probably Gary Keller. Anyways. Man, we're excited to have you guys on today. Life is good. Thank you for being on the team meeting today. We really are trying to add value.
Are you going to get to Jerry?
What?
Are you going to give Jerry a minute?
Yeah. I'm getting there. Thank you, Rob. So back to, I might have forgotten. You're right. So let's bring on my man from Chimney, or help me out, save me. Go for it.
So good morning, and first off, Brent, thank you so much for having me on here, man. I really appreciate it. My name is Jerry. I am the owner of Chimney Professional Fireplace and Home Services in Sacramento, California. This is my father who founded it back in 1980, Scott. I wanted to just say, everybody. Wanted to just let your team, know there are chimney companies out there, right?
Is legendary. He is. Oh, timeout. Yeah, I didn't know.
So we are a chimney company built for real estate. If you need an inspection next day, we also offer same day inspections if we're already in the area. We have 2 to 3 guys out every single day, and I'll tell you about 90% of our business is real estate transactions. But we specialize in the inspection and cleaning and repair of fireplaces, specifically pertaining to transactions, right? We also do service dryer vents. We do rain gutter cleaning. We do pressure washing, and we even do junk removals for your distressed listings. But where we're really going to come in handy is with pre-listing inspections for those great listings that I know Brent Gove teams are popping up all the time, right? And also on the buyer's end, when you have a client in contract and the home inspector comes and says, hey, this fireplace needs to be looked at, we're the guys you're going to call. We're going to discount you every time. We're going to get out there same day. And when we inspect, we refer information with peace of mind. So we're never going to scare clients with issues. We present things in a way that's going to show it that it's a negotiation point versus a reason not to buy a house, right? But yeah, I thank you guys so much for your time. And if you guys ever need anything, you can give us a call at 916-247-6579, or you can visit our website at thechimchimney.com.
So let's have you, Rob, if you could type that into the chat box so everybody can capture that, and then let's post it on the Brent Gove team page in case you guys write down. Say it one more time, Jerry. Rob's going to put it in the chat here. And we're also going to post it on the Brent Gove team page, Chimney with Jerry and with Scott, right?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, 916-247-6579, and then our website being thechimchimney.com.
Thechimchimney.com, and you see rain gutter. Yep. They do a lot of stuff. Rattle off what you do one more time. You said it fast.
So we specialize in inspection, cleaning, and repair of fireplaces, all types of fireplaces, wood burning appliances. We go everywhere from your more rural areas like Colfax all the way to Vacaville. We also service dryer vents, rain gutter cleaning. We do pressure washing, and we also do junk removal for distressed listings. We do automatic discounts for realtors every time they use us. Our system is all of our invoices are digital, so everything comes over same day, and it's all nicely put with letterhead. Nothing's handwritten. But yeah, anytime you guys, if you need anything, give us a call. We're here to help.
These two guys are famous. Scott's been around, like I said, 40 years doing this. Everybody knows Chim Chimney in Sacramento. They're a big deal. It's like talking to the mayor of Sacramento, Scott. Good to have you on. I've known your son Jerry from all the golf tournaments. In fact, we got reconnected at a charitable golf tournament with Phil and Fidel a few weeks ago. But man, good to have.
We lost Brent for a little bit, but thanks for coming, everybody.
Hey, thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Have a great day.